Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to the BFS Fishing Channel. And in this video, we're going to be going over the upcoming or already on Aliexpress summer sale. Now, if you look at the number of tabs on the top of my screen, you can see that there's quite a few. We're just going to go through all of them really quickly. These are just kind of some of the really better deals or better items that I think you might be interested in. But anyways, before we get started, remember, this is the desktop application. There is a mobile application. I really prefer the mobile application, but you get a lot more information from the desktop app. And that's why we're seeing a desktop screen grab here. But don't forget to clip the coupon codes, and also don't forget to clip store coupons, as well as look at things like the choice deals, which of course, obviously on this page, they haven't put it there. I don't know why. Anyways, the sale ends June 23rd, and so just keep that in mind. Okay, here we go. Let's get started. We're going to first go into reels, and this is going to be the High Star Aurora Air, I think at $33.88 with that additional coupon. It's a really phenomenal deal. Now, my particular model didn't have the best quality control, and so I wasn't super thrilled about it, but from what I've heard, they have fixed the quality control issues, and so at $33, this is kind of a no-brainer because it's a smaller diameter spool than the Solo King Acura, which happens to be listed here. The Solo King Acura is an older design, obviously, as it's a Dark Wolf Ultra variant. It is a 30mm spool versus the 28 of the Aurora Air. And so the Aurora Air is actually going to be able to outcast this in most situations, including low weights. In my experience, the Aurora Air was able to cast down to 0.56 grams and fairly well, actually. I just didn't think that the AA was really worth it at $70, but at $33.88, it's a very good deal. So go ahead and look at that. One reel that I won't recommend is the Zukibo Sambo at $45. Not worth it. Just ignore this reel. Just look at this reel right here. All right, so let's go ahead and close this. Solo King Acura is also another good choice, but it's not as good as the Aurora Air in this sale. And so it is here, but yeah, if you want to cast lightweight lures, then go look at the Aurora Air. If you're looking to cast a little bit higher of a weight range and you need a little more oomph with your brakes, then the Caesar Commando is a solid 100/200 size reel. There is another version called the Misc Fox, and that's supposed to be much better than this reel, but unfortunately I couldn't find it. Maybe it's not available to US residents or something like that, but the Caesar Commando is a great deal at $32.49. Okay, moving right along. All right, so we're going to get into rods now, and if you're looking at, this is a little bit out of order. This is a longer rod at 2.28 meters, so it's about 7.5 feet long. This is a rod that I do have and I have been using. I need to put out a review video on this, but at $37.93, it's kind of a no-brainer. It's got, I believe, 12 guides. So yeah, not bad for $37. And I'll try to get a video or a review video out on this rod later at some point in the future. Okay, there's that. For some reason, that was kind of out of order. The Castex is down to $21.25. Now, it's kind of an older design, kind of an older reel, not quite 100% BFS in my opinion. I think Paul Gaskell from Fishing Discoveries was saying how he was able to actually cast a trout magnet with this, which is pretty impressive for a 34mm spool reel. A very smooth, solid design. It is an ABS framed reel, so that's kind of one of the reasons why it is a little bit cheaper. And then I would suggest, if you're going to get this, to go ahead and add some bearings, but also maybe replace the handle, because it is a bit longer of a handle, and the handle knobs are kind of not the best in the world. Okay, moving along. This is the, everybody knows this is the Peerler/DMK Silver Feather. It's so popular now, especially at this price, that there's no left-hand models at this price anymore. So you're going to have to look to a different item listing, I guess, in order to find it. And you only get the XG or 8.5 gear ratio in the left hand, whereas it looks like the right hand is available in 2 different gear ratios. So silver feather, if you're looking for a silver feather, now is probably the time to buy it, unless you want to wait until the 11/11 sale, but we've still got some time left until then. All right, going ahead and closing. We're going to get straight into rods again. I'm not sure why that rod was over there, but a little bit out of order. Surinoya Intruder, one of my favorite rods of 2024, especially at $52.79. I think on launch it was coming out for like around $74, $75, and that was shipped. But this is $52 shipped. That is a phenomenal price for a rod that can handle 3 to 4 pound bass. So really fun, almost very similar in performance to a much higher priced rod, the Tenryu Rays Spectra. You know, it's not going to be exactly the same, and I kind of do wish that the handle was a little bit longer, but you know, for 52 bucks, you're going to be hard pressed to find a better constructed rod at this price. So there's the Surinoya Intruder. By the way, all the links to these items will be in the description down below, whether or not they're affiliate or non-affiliate links. If you use the affiliated links, greatly appreciate it. All that money goes back into funding the channel and helping me get more gear to share with you guys as well. Okay, moving right along. Surinoya Dragon 2, very, very staple rod nowadays. Kind of a good all-arounder, and I would suggest, you know, to anybody getting into BFS that this rod is a great rod to start out with. Of course, there's going to be also other budget options, but this is a solid built rod with Fuji guides, Surinoya quality. The only thing is that it's $57.90 plus some shipping there, so keep that in mind. This is going to be coming in at somewhere around $70, $80, maybe even $90 depending. So, you know, if you want to not spend that much, then you're not going to want to look at this for sure. All right, moving on. Pure Lure Zero. This is another rod that I've reviewed, I've used. Really, really fun rod. It makes really small fish feel like they're big, and so the fight with even dinks, like little 2, 3, 4 inch dink bass, really, really fun. But also it can handle larger fish as well. So really phenomenal rod. There's two sizes. There's this 632 light action casting, and I may actually try to get this rod to test out, because my main gripe with this rod right here is the weight. It feels really, really heavy in hand. But other than that, the action is great, the sensitivity is really good, and just a really fun rod overall. All right, moving along. This is going to be the Surinoya Elf Ajing. This particular model is sold by one of Surinoya's satellite stores, Surinoya, and it comes in a little bit cheaper than the other offerings. And so the C752 or 762 UL is back in stock. And if you've been looking for an ultra light 7.5 foot casting rod, then this might be the rod for you. It's a really phenomenal, really well-built rod, and well worth the price as well. All right, let's move into tackle. This is going to be kind of working hand in glove with some of the lures that I'm going to show you. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because look at the weight, 0.6 gram Cheburashka weight. I don't think there's any other Cheburashka weight that is a lower weight than this one. These are extremely small. I don't think that you're going to be able to find anything down to this size again. So if you're looking for something that is really, really lightweight for Cheburashka, then this might be the one for you. Okay, next up is going to be hover strolling rigs. So, you know, hover strolling has been around for a long, long time. It's nothing new. It's basically what the Australians called the hidden weight system. It's where the weight is actually along the shank of the hook right here. So these are some cheap Aliexpress options. You do have to note that the size of the hook is going to be a 1/0 or a 2/0 on these. And so you can see the size here for the 2/0 and then the size for the 1/0, which is a little bit smaller. So if you're trying to use these for fish like trout, probably not the best idea, because the hook is going to be a little bit on the larger side. And so you might want to go with a jig head hook and then add on your own tungsten nail weight. But if you're okay with using these for a little bit larger soft plastics, then these might be a good option for you. And then moving along, we've got I managed to find some owner EWGs for quite cheap. So this is a number 10 size, a number 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, all the way down, or all the way up, I guess, to 1. So quite large, really good quality as well. The gauge of the wire, though, is a little bit on the thinner side, and so you might want to take that into account. But they look to be, really, really good quality. These are owner hooks, so yeah. Okay, moving along. Oh, here are the other Samola hover strolling rigs, and this is going to be in the 0.6 gram weight and also the 1 gram weight as well. And so here's some information on this. Again, all the links to these are going to be in the description down below. I'm just sharing these really quickly with you guys. Okay, another option for some small EWGs. This is a 2.1 centimeter EWG, and then we're moving up in size, but a very small option. All right, B&U also has theirs, and so I'm going to throw these out there. Oddly, theirs is a little bit smaller. At number 8 is 18.9 or 1.89 centimeter. And then moving on, of course, OutKit. How could we leave out OutKit? Because they are kind of they were kind of like the first brand that I found that had really, really small micro EWGs. All right, moving into some other forms of tackle, or I guess real parts. I randomly stumbled across this company, and I can't even pronounce the name. It's like ZHYZ, Ziz, maybe? Maybe that's what it is. Oh, here, Zalees. Okay, so they're making some pretty interesting looking handle knobs, and so there's a couple different styles from their store, so very interesting options. This one is kind of my favorite, and I might actually order a couple of these for my reels. And the prices are all fairly good. I mean, like $10 plus $6 shipping, $10 plus $6 or $7 shipping. So yeah, these might be a really good option if you're interested in getting handle knobs. Microsnaps, B&U microsnaps are always a classic, tried and true, and so I'm going to go ahead and list these. I do have one gripe nowadays with these, and that is when I'm going to try and remove hooks from dinks, the little extra bit of wire here, that actually will stick into my thumb sometimes, and it kind of hurts when the dink is like shaking and thrashing around. So be careful when you're using these, because the wire from the microsnap may actually get into your thumb and cut you. All right, moving right along, I'm going to throw in a Surinoya fishing lure tackle box that I thought was a pretty good deal. I mean, this is a choice deal, and so you're going to want to combine it with some other choice options in order to get it down to that price where you don't have to pay for a delivery fee. All right, so here's another small tackle box. I guess this one's being sold by Samola. And I have a bunch of these, and I really like using these small tackle boxes, either for, hard minnow baits, like this size I use for hard minnow baits, but then these sizes I use for like small pieces of tackle, like I throw in a bunch of EWGs and microsnaps and Chabarashka weights into these, and then I like to carry them around in my tackle box. So yeah, very useful and very affordable in price. And moving along, okay, so we're going to start talking about lures, and these are some of the micro finesse soft plastic lures that I've been using in the 50 millimeter or about 2-inch size and under. B&U makes these. These are kind of a swing impact KO, and I've been using them to pretty good effectiveness, and so really, really happy with these lures. Okay, so now we're going to talk about a store that I came across called ES Fishing, and they make a lot of micro finesse plastics, and I'll go ahead and show you some of the choices that I have here, but this was kind of interesting because it's a little small plastic tackle box that I think would be useful for when you've got a soft plastic rigged up with an EWG and you just want to take it off of your snap and just kind of throw it in a bag. I think instead of throwing it in a bag, it's probably better to throw it into a tackle box. And so this might be a decent option at $1.31 plus $1.80 for shipping. But anyways, who doesn't make a good Easy Shiner KO? And I've actually used the 50 millimeter size recently, and it's a really good copy. Now, the Easy Shiner is a bait that's made by K-Tech, and while they work really, really well. My biggest gripe with K-Techs is the fact that they're so heavily impregnated with salt that they just kind of rip and fall apart. you get one fish and your bait is done. Well, these are a lot more durable and the action is still really, really, really good. And look at the price, $2.60 right now on sale, plus $1.89 for shipping. It's kind of a no-brainer. You get 20 pieces at the very small size, and the colors, there's a lot of really good colors. So yeah, this is the Swing Impact KO that they make, and they have quite a few different colorways. This works just as well as the original Swing Impact. I wish they had more colors, but yeah, for what they've got, really durable and works extremely well. Okay, and then here is another Swing Impact style copy. I think this is more similar to what you see from a company called Eurotackle. And so they've got quite a few different colorways for this one as well. Any of these kind of grayed out versions, they're probably going to be for the larger size. For some reason, they don't make as many colors for the smaller size. I'm not really sure why, but I've got this green one here, and I've also got this red one right now, and they both work really well. This is a really interesting bait. It's only 35 millimeters long, and it kind of looks like a poop bait, but it's like a tiny poop bait. And I've got this color and the pink color, and this color produces quite a bit for me. And then this I thought was a very interesting one. It's kind of like a combination grub / poop bait, but a very, very small size at 45 millimeters or 4.5 centimeters. And so another really good option to take a look at. And I've already placed an order for these. This one, it's kind of like a Senko, but not quite, and an extremely small one. This one, the worm is fairly narrow. So the way that I'm rigging up all of these is basically using an EWG and then kind of weightless Texas rigging them. I'm sure that they would work with like a wacky hook, but I just haven't really been able to find really small wacky hooks yet. So if you guys know of any very, very small ones, please leave a comment down below, and I'd love to check it out. Okay, so we're now moving away from ES Fishing to Lift Tug, and Lift Tug makes quite a bit of trout style lures. Picked up quite a few of these because they're just so cheap, and the build quality looks really good, and I'm hoping that the action is also going to be really good. These are coming in at 6.5 grams, so a little bit heavier than the 5-gram lure that I was using, but that's okay. A little bit more weight maybe can cast out a little bit farther. All right, so check this one out. This one is a straight up knockoff of the Timon Bury. I believe it's a Jackal lure. I did order one of these, and the build quality is really quite good. The paint quality is also really quite good. The only thing that's missing is a clear coat, but you know, at $3.14, can you really complain too much? I don't think so. All right, and the next one is going to be another Lift Tug minnow that I thought was a pretty interesting one. This one is 2.1 grams, quite a bit lower of a weight than the previous one. Okay, moving along. Bear King and the Black Rat. This is another knockoff. If you get this colorway, it has a really interesting effect where these darker lines, they kind of disappear at different angles. I think this is a brown trout color. And Kelvin was the one who put me onto this. He goes by the handle The Accidental Dweeb, and he does quite a few reviews on our Facebook group, but he's also got a Facebook account, I think, under The Accidental Dweeb. Go check out his reviews. And if you haven't joined the Facebook group, come join us. I'll put a link in the description below. Okay, moving along again. This is the smaller Rig EA. I don't know exactly how to pronounce that, but they have the same exact color option where it's the brown trout and these little horizontal lines. They actually disappear at a certain angle. Very, very good action. 2.3. It is a floating minnow, and I can't speak highly enough about it. All right, moving along, we're going to look at a Hybo accessory option. Now, these are actually specifically for the Arise Air, Arise Elite, and then the Arise Ultra Air. And what they are basically anti-slip knob covers right there, written on the title. And they just go slip over your pencil knob on the reels. Now, I have tried it on the Silver Feather, and while it's not an exact fit, they do still stay on, and they kind of friction fit on, and they're a lot more comfortable than the metal handle. So if you're fishing in like cold areas, might be a good idea. And this was an idea brought up to me by one of our fellow Facebook group moderators, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but Kali or Kai, he was the one who brought up the idea, and really good idea to try it out on different reels that have pencil knobs. Okay, moving along, we got 3 more. If you're looking for cheap bearings, these are hybrid, so ceramic stainless steel. I would choose this option, the Hybrid ABEX 7, and they've got quite a few sizes, very cheap, and they're not nearly as good as some of your higher top dollar ball bearing options like your Roro SICs. But I mean, for $1.87, you know, throw the 7 right here, the 472 or the SMR74, throw these in your handle knobs, and boom, you've got some really affordable yet good performing hybrid ceramic bearings that you don't need to worry about too much. All right, moving along again. Can't really end the video or make this video without recommending some braid. Unfortunately, the Handing Blast braid, which used to be really affordable and really a really good bang for buck option, is now a lot more expensive. And so if you're looking for something that is a bang for buck option, then I can't speak highly enough about this Kingdom Microfly. It is a 4-strand braid, and you kind of want to avoid the 0.2 and I would avoid the 0.4. Just go straight for the 0.6. It's still a very thin braid, but it's also a very strong braid as well. Okay, and then the last entry. So a couple people have asked about bags, and I haven't done any videos on fishing bags, but this is a sling bag that I use, and it's the only sling bag that I've been using, but it's been very useful, and I have almost no complaints about it. And at $27, it's quite cheap. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. If you liked it, please consider giving it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, this is the kind of stuff that I do on this channel. BFS gear reviews, sales information. That's the kind of content that I produce on this channel. We'd love to have you join. I guess that's going to do it. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.